Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another boxing fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for Garcia versus Romero, Fatal Fury, Times Square. So I'll be predicting the full card of fights. Let's get to the first fight on the card that I'll be predicting. So in the first fight, we have Sutsumi versus Whittington. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'll go high confidence Sumi, or whatever his name is, to beat. Yeah, whatever the case is. I'm going to jump over this one, to be honest. This is clearly a setup fight. Whittington, let's just pull up the tail of the tape. 1-2-1. This guy has been brought in to build up this prospect right here. And nothing gives any other reason why he should have any type of chance of beating Sutsumi. Again, I'm not going to lock because I don't really know Sutsumi. So I'm not going to be like, oh, this is lock this. Because to be locked, I got to really know you. And someone know the guy, but clearly a setup fight, clearly a build-up fight. Sutsumi, yeah, average confidence. That's a higher average. It don't matter. High, average, one of those two. But I'll say average. Average confidence, Sutsumi, to be able to take his layup fight and do it in impressive fashion, get it done, let me say, round 3. So in the first fight, I got Sutsumi via third round TKO. Now to the next fight, we have in the super lightweight division, we got Teofimo Lopez versus Arnaldo. I said Arnaldo. I'm all over the place. Let me get this correct. Teofimo Lopez, or Teo Lopez, versus Arnold Barbosa Jr. Yeah, no cuts, no edits. It is what it is. I butchered some of these names, but it is what it is. But I'm going low confidence Teofimo Lopez to beat Arnold Barbosa Jr. Arnold Barbosa Jr. is a pretty good fighter, pretty slick, undefeated. I think like 35-0. Pretty good jab, decent footwork, decent combinations. And really the thing comes down here is look at the picture. Teofimo Lopez pointing at his head, his mental. It's always comes down to his mental. Like, when's the last time Teofimo Lopez has had a great performance that he was the favorite in? When's the last time? I can't think of it. When was the last time? I feel like, you know, he beat Vasily Lomachenko, big upset, became an undisputed champion, very young at the time he did it. And then he lost, what's his name? I'm forgetting the guy's name. That guy, what's he, Australian dude? Cambosas. I don't know if that was immediately after, but either way, he lost him, big upset. He had some other fights where he won, and he was saying he don't think he had hunger, like some fights that he probably should have lost on the judges' scorecard, but star power got him to win. And then the last good performance he had, he was the dog, and that was against Josh Taylor. I think he was a small dog, but he was a dog. He was like plus 100 against Josh Taylor, and he had one of the best performances of his career, probably like the second best performance of his career outside of the Lomachenko fight, and probably the cleanest performance of his career, period, as far as against the elite competition, and up in the weight class as well. So overall, that might have been his best performance, and he was underdog. So you could say the two best performances of his career, or at least two of the best performances of his career, in the most recent performance that he would look good in, or the most recent performances that he looked good in, he was the underdog. So it seems like the mental is playing a factor there. Because not like these fighters he's fighting are so spectacular, or so good, or doing something so different. It's like he doesn't train as hard, or he doesn't mentally lock in, or he fights to the level of his opponent. So we feel like, oh, he's been overlooked, he'll look the best he's ever looked. But he feels like, you know, in this fight he's I think like a plus 200, not plus 200, he's a minus 200 favorite. And I think Barbosa like I don't know, plus 150, plus 170. By the way, Barbosa is clearly an underdog, and Teofimo Lopez is clearly a favorite. It's not the typical boxing odds where a guy be like minus 1 million, but still, he's still a sizable favorite here. And this has been a typical space where he has these little mediocre performances, and he still ekes out a decision. I feel like that's what's all lined to be low confidence. Probably could be a fight that probably should go Barbosa's way, or Barbosa Jr.'s way. Barbosa sticking and moving, not giving Teofimo Lopez a whole lot to work with. And another thing, that's something that Teofimo Lopez doesn't seem to work well with. Like, he probably, I can see you kind of outside, you kind of sticking a jab out there here and there, and your output's not that high. You know, Lopez can beat you in that aspect, but you're out there, good defense, good counterability, jab, and have a high work rate. Lopez has struggled with that. Now, I don't think Barbosa is the perfect example of what has caused Lopez issues, but he does check off a lot of the boxes, and he's a very good fighter in his own right. And again, this is a spot that Teofimo Lopez has not looked, you know, particularly great in the past 5 years. And yeah, I'm going him low confidence. I feel like it'll be another close fight, another chess match. Teofimo Lopez probably gonna win by the hair, you know, the hairs on his chinny chin, and get a decision victory here. Probably one he doesn't deserve, but yeah. And another thing, Teofimo didn't even look good. They gave him a layup opponent, I think, in his very last fight, and he still took the layup to a decision, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he got a layup fight in his last fight, and he took that guy to a decision. So again, can't put a whole lot of confidence in Teofimo Lopez. Maybe this, if you're gonna put confidence in anything, maybe put confidence in the fight going the distance, because they're both skilled fighter. Barbosa is undefeated, so he hasn't been TKO'd, he hasn't lost, I believe. But again, don't quote me on that. But hey, let me look at the teletape to be exactly sure. Yeah, he's undefeated. Again, look, plus 185 underdog, minus 230 favorite. Again, a spot that Teofimo has typically not looked great in the past 5 years. Is a favorite. He shines as the underdog himself. But yeah, I go Teofimo Lopez to win, low confidence. Hairs on his chin, and definitely maxing out that star power to get the judges' favor. So in this one, I got Teofimo Lopez via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in catchweight bout at 144, we got Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going high confidence Devin Haney to beat Jose Ramirez. Let me see what the odds at on this, at least here. Yeah, Haney's a huge favorite, and rightfully so, against Jose Ramirez. And Jose Ramirez, I don't think he ever had anything for Devin Haney. He never did. They can say, oh, he fell off, he's this and that, but at no point. The best day, he could have had an orgy and slept with 12 women back-to-back, felt like the man. Somebody could have given $1 million. Somebody could give him pat back. Somebody could tell me the greatest thing ever. He could have had a private, he could have had a, what's it called? You know how people say dinner with Jay-Z? He could have had dinner with Jesus. He could have had everything gone for him, and he still would have had nothing for Haney, I don't think. He would have had a puncher's chance, that's about it. But I'm just saying the best Jose Ramirez, I don't think, has anything for Haney. And this is clearly not even the best Jose Ramirez. He's got away from his body work. He's out there trying to, be, I guess, more fundamental. But in part, being fundamental, he's not even really working the body. Working the body is part of fundamental, like jabbing into the body, jabbing to the head, working to the body, coming up top. And he's gotten away from, a thing that made him good. Now he's out there trying to, basically fence, like 1-2, jab and stuff. And he's not doing the combination. He's not attacking the body. So you're not even doing what made you good no more. Or not as much of what, you're not doing as much of what you made you good anymore. You're getting away from you're getting away from yourself, and it haven't looked good. And you're essentially gonna try to do what Devin Haney does, and you're gonna do matter of fact, you're gonna do 15% of what he does, and even at 15%, you can't do nowhere near as good as he does. So yeah, Devin Haney's this gonna be bag work for Devin Haney. He's gonna be too fast, too quick, too sharp. I could see a stops for Devin Haney here, but Devin Haney's not known for power. But hey, we'll see. I'll be interested to see if he is able to knock him out. But mostly it's going to be Devin Haney probably just picking him apart from round 1 to 12. Only way the fight probably can stop is the referee just get tired of saying the guy just get pieced up. Probably going to be a standing TKO if anything. Can't really see Devin Haney really dropping no one. It's just going to be Devin Haney, again, jabbing him up all day, doing what he wants to do, ripping to the body. Again, bag work. He'll be hitting with he'll be hitting with lead hands. He'll be hitting with jabs. Mix it to the body, shoving around the ring, sticking, moving. This again looking like vintage Haney out there, and Ramirez ain't gonna have no answer. Obviously Ramirez gonna land some punches and whatnot, but again, it's gonna be pretty much a field day for Devin Haney. Seemed like a pretty good stylistic matchup for Devin Haney, and I think he's gonna again go out there and do what needs to be done. So in this one, I got Devin Haney via decision. Now to our main event, we have in the what's called welterweight division, 147 for the regular WBA title. Ryan Garcia versus Rolando Romero. So 2 former training partners going against each other. Ryan Garcia versus Romero. How do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going, I'll go high as well. Why not? High confidence Ryan Garcia to beat Rolando Romero or Rolly Romero. Yeah, let's just get to the point. Let's get to the point of this for real. Rolly. Bust down Rolly Avalanche. Rolly Romero has what about him? Let's look at his last 4 or 5 fights. He's been TKO'd in half of his last 4 fights. Again, don't quote me exactly on that, but roughly his last 4 fights, and roughly the last 4 years, 3 to 4 years, he's been TKO'd twice, 4 fights, four times, lost half of them, been TKO'd half of them. Got TKO'd by who TKO'd him? He got TKO'd by Pitbull. I'm forgetting the guy's actual name, but he got TKO'd by Pitbull, and before that he got TKO'd by Tank Davis, or Javante Davis, which is no real issue, no real concern. Pretty much most people that fight Tank Davis gonna get TKO'd. The Pitbull fight is more concerning, and then what's his name? What's that other guy? The old guy that's 42-year-old. I just had his name on my head, but it don't matter. And that's so really in his last 4 fights he should be 1-3 because he was getting picked apart by the older guy. I think Barbosa. He was getting picked apart by Barbosa. or Barbosa is, whatever. He's getting picked apart by him. And then he hurt Barbosa just a little bit, not too bad. Barbosa just going to cover up, take like little 30, 15, whatever amount of seconds to recover. But the moment the ref saw him chill up a little bit, again, legs weren't even shaky like that. He was just like, I got cold or something. Let me regain myself. And the ref took the opportunity because Romero was the A side. He got to win. So the moment Romero even did any bit of damage, the ref stopped the fight crazy early. When Romero was getting smacked around the ring, dropped, doing somersaults and then getting dogged in the fight, the whole fight, all of a sudden he get one little bit of success, and all of a sudden they stop the fight for him. So he really should be 1-3 in his last 4. So Romero has not been looking good. He's never been the most technical fighter. He's very sloppy, very awkward, very unorthodox. He got some power. He got some tenacity, but the skill has never been there. Ryan Garcia is longer, taller, better, more technical. He has had the background. And I think Ryan Garcia is coming in here. He's hungry. He's angry. Especially probably going to see Haney, at the event, at the locker room, at this, at that. See, Haney on TV in the back room while he getting prepared to fight. So he's going to be locked in. It's not like he's going to get sidetracked. He'll be locked in, hungry. Also getting, had to take some actions from boxing because of, stuff he did to himself anyway. The stuff he said and the drugs he took. But either way, he's going to be hungry. He's looking in good shape. He's big. And it's not like Romero has, again, he don't have no good defensive ability. He don't have no good boxing. And Garcia has better everything than him. I think Ryan Garcia is going to be, he's going to have a field day. Like, Romero's going to make it ugly and sloppy. And it's going to make it interesting for a little bit. But eventually he's going to drop that lead hand. And Garcia is going to be a slip dad hook right on his chin, rock him, and put him out, I think, 4th round. Fun little fight for a short period of time, but once Ryan Garcia connects, I think it'll be over shortly after that. Whether it be a one-punch knockout or whether he has to completely takes Romero's legs out from underneath him with that hook and then just forms on him. Either way, the fight's over shortly after that hook catches clean, and I think he puts Romero out in the 4th round. So in this one, I got Ryan Garcia via 4th round TKO. Or KO TKO. And so that concludes my fight predictions for Garcia versus Romero. Fatal Fury Times Square. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.